unused Gen 1 Pokemon designs have been revealed.
This is crazy.
Yeah. So there's a new manga out about the life of Pokemon creator Satoshi Tajiri, and it shows 4 unused Pokemon designs, which we will show you in a second. But yeah, they're pretty weird.
They're all from the first gen too. So this is for like, I was a huge first gen Pokemon fan. So this is so cool because it's like, you never thought that this would come out, you know, like so long after the creation of the first gen Pokemon. It's just like, wow, look at this little tidbit that we found.
Yeah. So yeah, the manga just like details some really cool stuff. This was shared on Twitter by Game Freak employee or designer James Turner, who also has designed Pokemon.
A lot of familiar faces there.
Yeah. So you'll see like you got Ghastly and Voltorb and blah, blah, blah. So the 4 that we're going to look at are the top one. This one is named Dia or Deer. And I do want to point out that it looks like Cobalion. And I will just bring up, I have a picture of Cobalion here. I think it looks kind of like Cobalion. You got the little horns.
So regal. Go back to the Cobalion.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, Cobalion is a Gen 5 Pokemon. And I just feel like there's some similarities besides the tail. So there's that. So there's that first one. There's this horrible creature.
They were like, we can't bring him into creation. He looks like he's in pain.
Yeah, you can I know, you can understand why this one got vetoed. It's called Kuroki, or I think that's supposed to be like crocodile. So I think it's supposed to be like a crocodile like demon.
Look at his fin. What is that?
I don't know.
Poor pathetic little guy.
There's some handwritten stuff on here, so I don't know. Yeah, it's freaking wild.
Yeah.
And then we got this nice shark boy. His name is Jagu. I think that's like Jag, like he's jagged.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I like him. I think he's the coolest one. He reminds me of
did we ever get a shark Pokemon? Like a proper shark Pokemon?
Yeah, Sharpedo.
Oh, okay.
Which doesn't look anything like this. Doesn't have like a hammerhead sort of face. So
I fell off after Gen 2. I like got into it and then I was like,
you're not.
Yeah. I did play some of the games, but I wasn't as hardcore.
I'm Pokemon ride or die. Pokemon's my whole life.
Breathe, eat, sleep, Pokemon.
That's all I do. And then the last one over here is something that looks kind of like, at first I thought it was just Doduo or Dodrio, but it's actually called Cactus, so cactus. And it's just a cactus. There's also there's several cactus Pokemon. So
wow, I guess they threw that out.
They threw it out and then they brought it back around Gen 3. So.
We'll revisit this later. Yeah,
and then the other thing I want to point out, so we have those 4 designs, and then there's some here that like you can see what they're named, but you can't see what they are. This is also detailing an in-house popularity poll at Game Freak, where and I think we talked about this with the unused Pikachu evolution. There was an interview with some of the Pokemon designers last week or 2 weeks ago, and one of the things was that they would do in-house popularity polls to just kind of gauge which Pokemon were the best.
I love that idea, actually.
Yeah, it's really smart.
Yeah.
Right? So I think at this point in time, because there's only 31 on this list from what we can see, I don't think Pikachu was even a thing yet.
Or he had already been accepted.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. One or the other.
So yeah, I think based on the interview that I read, again, this was a couple weeks ago, so I can post in the comments what the actual interview is. I feel bad that I can't remember who posted it, but I think Pikachu was a little bit later. Like I think Clefairy already existed.
Okay.
But,
I see.
So the top Pokemon, and I think this is very interesting. So number 3 is Pippi or Clefairy with 14 votes.
Makes sense.
Then there's Raki, which is Chansey.
Another pink cutie.
Right? So those make sense, right?
Yeah.
2 Pokemon people like. Of course they'd be popular. Number 1 with 23 votes is Executor.
Yeah. Wow.
For some reason.
Yeah.
I like really don't know why.
Maybe it's because like eggs. I don't know.
I don't know.
Right?
So yeah, it's Nashi is its Japanese name. Yeah. I don't know.
Like Japanese people like egg things.
I mean, I like eggs a lot, so I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm just surprised that it's...
I'm surprised it ranked number 1 in a popularity poll. They were like, this is our Pokemon. Can you imagine a world in which Pikachu was not like the face of Pokemon and it was actually Executor?
Right? So I think I remember reading something forever ago that Clefairy was supposed to be the like mascot, like the cute mascot, or like they had thought about Clefairy, and I'm like, that would be such a different world. But yeah, I guess it explains Alola Executor, the really long-necked one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so popular.
Yeah.
Gotta make a new version.
They liked it a lot. We liked it a lot. We had to make another.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's interesting. I do, for context, a lot of the first generation, like the designs before Red and Blue came out, were held off until Gen 2. So a lot of the Gen 2 Pokemon were actually designed in the same round as the Gen 1 Pokemon. So like I think one of the first Pokemon, well, like I think the first Pokemon ever designed is Rhydon, which you see in that image. And then there's like all the Gen 2 Pokemon were, or most of them were part of that initial wave, were just cut for space. There wasn't enough memory on the card. So
it's funny how those things determined that then they were like, oh, we ran out of room on the cards. So.
That actually was a really big deal. So
what was your favorite first gen Pokemon?
First gen, I think to this day, one of my favorite Pokemon is Eevee. So I'll have to say
all the evolutions.
Eevee,
so cool.
I like Eevee because I'm indecisive.
Yeah, right. I liked Eevee because I like Jolteon. That was like my
Jolteon freaking owns.
Yeah, I loved Jolteon, and I also had this weird obsession with Dugong.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like a seal. I don't know. in my head.
That's fine. I really liked I liked Misty a lot, so I was really into like Starmie. I'm really a big evolution person. So, like I train competitive Pokemon. For anyone who like doesn't know who I am, I talk about this a lot.
If you don't know what I do,
if you don't know about me,
I
train. I breed in the games. I breed competitive Pokemon, and then I battle with them. And I mostly breed Eevee. Like I really like breeding competitive Eevee. So I have a team. I have competitive Jolteon, Vaporeon, Espeon, Umbreon, and Sylveon bred. That's
pretty badass.
Flareon's useless. You don't need Flareon.
Get out of here, Flareon.
I don't want a Glaceon or Leafeon. Like I got my Eevees. Yeah. So
Eevee squad.
Yeah. Also Mew.
Mew was cool.
That's a lame answer, but I liked Mew because Mew was just like the best.
Yeah, I also liked the movie, Pokemon the movie, and then the second movie, and that was like the Mewtwo thing. So I was like really into that too.
That's fair.
Good times.
A lot of people think my favorite Pokemon's Pikachu because I have a lot of Pikachu collectibles.
I
just like that they have Pikachu wearing all sorts of little costumes.
Yeah, they got him dressed up, looking all fancy.
Yeah, I mostly buy it for the costumes.
Yeah.
So you learn.
Anyway.
Pokemon stuff has been circulating. There's a lot of rumors. We won't go into that, but we are expecting more news around E3 time.
Pokemon for Switch. Crossing my fingers.
We're
going to say the same thing. I want it. I do. I think that a Pokemon on Switch would bring me back to playing Pokemon again, because I bought all of the 3DS games and then I just never like really got into them. So
right.
We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully.
Yeah, get that rebirth of Pokemon.
Yeah. So the next story we got going on is, if you guys haven't heard, you might have already, Ubisoft's ambitious pirate game, Skull and Bones, has been delayed.
Aw.
Shiver me timbers. I had to do it. Okay.
We love pirates around here. Ubisoft announced in an earnings call that the I like in our notes the pirate ship combat game Skull and Bones. I in my mind it's just pirate game, but I like pirate ship combat game.
Pirate ship combat game.
Skull and Bones will no longer launch for PS4, Xbox One, or PC this fiscal year. We talked about fiscal years yesterday, but that extends to March 31st, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't launch before March 31st, 2019.
Yep. So next year and a little less than a year, maybe.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, and we don't really know why they delayed it. They didn't disclose a ton of details, but it would seem to me that Sea of Thieves was the huge pirate game of the year. It got a lot of players, and it had a lot of people buying in and invested. Mm-hmm. And this is pure 100% speculation, but I think they're probably like, you know what? Maybe we need to let people be thirsty for another pirate game. It
was just weird. Like last E3 when we got the Sea of Thieves announcement and the Skull and Bones announcement, we were like, "Are pirates back?"
Yep.
Pirates
never went anywhere. All right.
Well, I was like, we had the zombie trend for a while, and I was like, maybe it's time for pirates to be back. But
I wish that zombies would go away for a little bit. Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of which, we do have a State of Decay review up if you're curious about the the last trend that happened, the zombie trend. Now we're going to the pirate trend. Skull and Bones is now slated for the fiscal year 2019 to 2020. So between April 1st, 2019 and March 31st, 2020. Fiscal years are confusing.
They are confusing.
The company said, quote, Ubisoft has decided to give itself more time to develop Skull and Bones to offer players an even more engaging experience.
That could be
they always say that.
Yeah, they're like, we're just going to make it better for you guys. Don't worry. Hold on tight.
We had several delays this week. We had Shenmue 3, Metro Exodus, and now Skull and Bones. I was telling Michael and then John-Luc yesterday that for me, I'm like, I only have so much time to play games that I get relieved almost. Like there's games that I would be really disappointed to see delayed, right? Like if they were like Smash Bros. Switch isn't coming out until 2021, I'd be like, no, but for games like this where it's like I'm interested, but I'm not immediately like I gotta play it.
Yeah, it's like
I'm happy to have the extra time because there's so many games to play, and also just like books to read and life to live.
It could also be the fact that like, if you think about it, they want a good review score, and they know that the press is probably a little fatigued from Sea of Thieves over pirate games, right?
Yeah,
so
maybe.
I don't know. Maybe there's probably a lot of contributing factors, or maybe things were not set to go. Game systems needed improved. Like there's a lot of things at play, but also, they want to wait probably just for the opportune time. Yeah,
and also just like developing a game like this involves a lot of resources, and I don't know, it costs a lot to make a game like a AAA game, right? And it also costs a lot just to put into those kinds of resources, like the especially water, like animating water. I think if you've ever played a game with a lot of water in it, it could be difficult.
Yes, it can be. Water is no joke. There are games that don't have water at all for reasons like that.
Yeah, the physics are different. There's all sorts of, I don't know. It could be what they said. It could be we just want more time to develop this game and give it all the time we need. We don't know. CEO, Yves Guillemot.
Oh, that was good.
I wanted to make sure I tried.
That was nice.
Said Ubisoft will only incur a, quote, very small marketing expense for Skull and Bones during the current fiscal year. So that suggests they probably won't spend a lot of time talking about it this year while they give it more time to do whatever they need to do.
Right. Yeah. So that means probably missing from E3. Probably missing from there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That is my assumption from the very small marketing expense comment.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It probably won't be in their press conference.
Yeah, but like maybe a mention, but maybe not like a crazy big new trailer or like a,
Yeah.
Who knows?
Something that will be in their press conference, though, is this probably new AAA game that they're working on.
Yes.
That they've hinted at.
Yes, indeed. Hold on. Let me go back to camera so we can transition into that.
Yes.
Yeah, before we get to that, though, just really quickly, Skull and Bones is developed by Ubisoft Singapore. They did the naval battle sequences in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which I think is the big thing people are excited for about Skull and Bones. Because a lot of people really like Black Flag. And they contributed to other Assassin's Creed games. So I think that was one of the things people were like, oh, Skull and Bones,
Black Flag.
It's like Black Flag.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So
that's neat.
Yeah, just to point that out.
Sorry,
but yes.
Glaze over that. Do you want to glaze over that important detail?
It's fine. But yeah, so if you're just joining us, we talked about Pokemon, Unused Pokemon. We've just talked about Skull and Bones being delayed. Now we're going on to another bit of Ubisoft news.
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is so what I mentioned earlier. Ubisoft has announced a new AAA game will be at E3, in addition to two other games that they've confirmed: The Crew 2 and The Division 2.
So that game, they said, is coming sometime before March 31st, 2019, and they will announce it at E3. So the speculation time.
Yes.
So this is during the same earnings call as the Skull and Bones news. They announced this. They called it, quote, one unannounced franchise, which I think is interesting and will aid in the speculation that we will get to in a moment. But yeah, Ubisoft expects the games combined to sell 19 million units compared to the previous forecast they had in other earnings calls of 23 million units across 4 different AAA games. Skull and Bones being the 4th game, so they've kind of adjusted their expectations.
Mm-hmm. And that makes sense considering they delayed a huge game.
Yeah, that's not a big scary thing. They didn't provide any details on the unannounced game, obviously, because if they're going to save a big announcement for E3, they're not going to give that away, right?
But it's cool. We just know there's another thing because we knew some of the trailers that were going to be coming out or some of the games that were being speculated on, and now we know there's another one coming.
Yeah, we are showing some Ghost Recon Wildlands Splinter Cell crossover because I think Sam and I both think that maybe it's Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want it to be Splinter Cell. Mm-hmm. The timing would be right. They did have that crossover with Sam Fisher in Ghost Recon Wildlands. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Seems like a lot of...
Yeah, which is the thing we're watching right now. So obviously this is just our speculation, but... You know, Michael Ironside did return to voice Sam Fisher in the Ghost Recon Wildlands mission, which was really huge. I think a lot of people were really, really excited about that. I know Michael was like all about that. Yeah. And it was also, Splinter Cell was also part of that Walmart Canada leak that we talked about with regard to Rage 2.
Yeah.
Rage 2 did end up being real, which does not mean that the entire leak from Walmart Canada was real, but... that also is something that makes us go, maybe Splinter Cell.
I wonder who got in trouble for that Walmart Canada leak sometimes because that was just like somebody's really poor bad game at Telephone. Like somebody didn't do their job somewhere along the line and that leak happened and I don't know, like someone's real sad right now.
I know. I always wonder about the person who like they're like you accidentally tweeted the wrong thing or like you sent something live too early but yeah, I mean, to be very clear, I don't know about that leak entirely because it also included Forza Horizons 5, which was likely a mistake since the game is called Forza Horizon, not Horizons, and also we're only on 3.
Forza Horizons 5.
Yeah, so I think it's anybody's guess.
Yeah.
Our guess is Splinter Cell for that unannounced AAA.
Yeah.
Unannounced franchise. Mm-hmm. Also, Splinter Cell is a franchise, which falls into
the franchise.
Checks off that box. So let us know what you think, because that's the only one that I thought was likely.
Yeah. Do you have any other wishes? Any other?
Not really.
Watch Dogs 3. Okay. Hey, you never know.
I didn't mean to react so negatively to Watch Dogs. I just I don't know what else I need from Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I know something that I was saying, or I wanted to say to you earlier about some of the games that they are going to be announcing. The Crew 2. When I first started working in games, I made a video about The Crew, and it was called 5 Things You Can't Do in The Crew. And I feel bad being so like jaded or negative about it, but I don't remember that game being like super positively received.
It super wasn't. I mean, you're right. I don't think that's negative. I think that's accurate to history.
It's interesting to me. It's like they were like, okay, there was a lot of things we could have done better, so give us that chance. And it seems like that's probably what they're going to try to do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about The Crew 2 yet. I know we have people who are super into that kind of game and who really like racers. Michael knows a lot about racing games, for example. So maybe he could speak to this when he comes back from his intrepid travels. That's not.
Is he on a secret mission right now?
No, he's just on vacation.
Oh.
But yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah,
what happens with that.
We'll see how that goes. I'm actually the pressers at E3 are my favorite.
Yeah, I love them.
I get so excited about it. So. It's going to be fun to see what comes out of it.
Regardless, I get excited to see the trailers, and like even for a game like Crew 2 that I'm not particularly excited for, it's fun to see like what comes out of it.
It just gives you so much to like think and talk about and like speculate on, and I don't know, games. I love them. Video games.
E3 is fun.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of games,
oh, well,
because that's what we talk about here.
When games die, they go to Dave and Buster's. So, was that a good transition?
Sure. There's a new Halo game coming to arcades. This was kind of a weird surprise announcement yesterday, in the late afternoon Pacific time. It's called Halo Fireteam Raven, and it's set during
Combat Evolved.
Combat Evolved. But it's like a light gun arcade game. Like when you play House of the Dead or whatever. It's like that.
Yeah. It's gonna be a game that you can play.
It is gonna be a game that you can play.
You can play at Dave & Buster's. It plays on a 130-inch. Oh, never mind.
Oh,
well, it's okay. I can. It's a 4K screen with 4 mounted machine guns.
Yes.
So it's co-op.
And it has cooperative and competitive play. It's developed by Raw Thrills that also made Injustice Arcade and Jurassic Park Arcade. So experienced arcade developers. CEO Eugene Jarvis says Halo Fireteam Raven is without a doubt the most spectacular arcade experience we've ever made. After years of development, it is now ready. Of course, that if it is indeed the most spectacular experience is up to you. I think, I like light gun games and I like arcades. And honestly, like we joke about games going to die at arcades, but arcades are fun. I don't want them to die.
I was just being, a little nihilistic there. But
yeah.
It'll be a fun game. If you ever go to Dave & Buster's, you have a drink or two and you play some mediocre games that seem a lot better when you're with friends.
But who knows? It might be fun.
Yeah. Look, you know what?
And those TVs are huge.
Those TVs are huge. And you know what's always was one of my favorites at the arcade? The Time Crisis games.
Yeah.
And so, hey, I'm being so mean, but you're gonna find me at Dave & Buster's one day. Yeah,
starting this summer, Dave & Buster's is gonna have those. I think we went to Dave & Buster's for my high school graduation. Like it was
the night out, the senior night,
grad night. Yeah,
grad night. Nice.
That was our grad night.
We went to an arcade too, and they let us stay there until 2 a.m,
Whoa.
which was crazy.
Past curfew.
Yeah, we're like, whoa, we're out like late at a place, partying, playing games.
Yeah, my friends were really mad at me because they wanted to like just stand in a corner and talk, and I was like, but I want to play arcade games because I just love arcades
and skee ball.
Yeah,
because that's always at the arcade.
If I can find a Galaga machine, you bet I will be parked there for the whole night, not talking to anybody.
Pac-Man's my weakness. If you put me on Pac-Man, I sit there for way too long.
Yeah, so Dave & Buster's this summer. If you have grad night coming up,
this is what you got.
Then maybe you can check it out. Yeah, so
Halo's got to live somewhere, I know.
I will never forgive what they did to Cortana. Yeah. Not a Halo 5 campaign fan.
No.
But yeah.
Not many people are.
I know.
Sadly. But
multiplayer is cool.
Multiplayer is
campaign, cool. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we got to wrap up a little soon because we have a stream coming up right after this. If you're watching live, 11:30 a.m. PT, we're going to be playing Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, the definitive edition.
Yes, on Switch. Ben Janka and Chastity are going to be doing that. It's also Ben's birthday, so you better go in there and wish him a happy birthday.
Yes,
on our behalf. But yeah, last thing. Any cool stuff going on?
Any cool stuff going on this week?
Not even work related, just like, are you watching a cool TV show? Like, whatever.
Oh my God. I'm watching old shows that I should have watched a long time ago. That's the story of my life. It's like how I play games too. I always play games that came out like 2 years ago. They've been sitting in my Steam library.
Yeah, I do.
So, so this weekend I'm probably going to play some Persona 5.
Nice. That's a worthy game to catch up on. I also need to catch up on that. Michael, don't yell at us in the chat. I know you like Persona.
He loves his Persona.
I see him in the chat.
Oh, he's in the chat right now?
Yeah, 100%.
Michael,
you're on vacation. You're on vacation.
Yeah.
Why are you in the chat?
Go do San Diego things.
But yeah. Cool. I will be playing more... I don't even want to say what game I'm playing because I don't want people to spoil it for me in the comments.
Is it top secret or
no? No. It's just a game that I want to play, but I don't want people to be mean and tell me anything about it. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing more of that. I'm gonna see Deadpool. That's what I'm gonna do.
Ah, yes, Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see that too.
Yeah,
I loved the first one.
I loved it, and also my roommate is the one who Ryan Reynolds proposed to. So
really,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Max Scoville interviewed him on the Deadpool red carpet and showed him a Deadpool book report from 5th grade, and then Ryan Reynolds asked him to marry him. That's my roommate.
So when's the wedding?
He said no because he's already engaged, and I was like, "You idiot!"
Yeah,
and she was like, "You idiot!"
Yes, yeah. What? you say yes. When
You know,
Ryan
that
Reynolds asks you to marry him, you say yes.
See, that's the true test of love right there, is you get Ryan Reynolds to propose to your significant other, and if they say no, then they really love you.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the wisdom of today.
And they can tell that story to their grandkids.
Your grandpa decided not to kiss Ryan Reynolds. Isn't that amazing? And they're like, Grandmama, who's Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Like, so anyway.
A stud. That's who.
That's your wisdom for the day.
Yeah.
We got to get going and leave room for Chastity and Ben to have some fun over there.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Refresh the page. They'll be going live around 11:30 a.m.
Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition on Nintendo Switch. So
yeah. But anyway, thank you, Sam, for joining me today.
Oh, of course. It was a pleasure.
It's always fun. Thank you to Matt Paget and Tony Wilson for getting the notes together.
And Base Tay.
Yeah,
AJ.
and Tay, just
always thank you.
Eric Tay is secretly the MVP of everything we do here.
Anyway, so we hope you guys have a great weekend. Play some great games.
And thank you for watching.
And thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.